Every time we split up, it's like I'm stuck with you.
You're listening to Never Split Up, a horror movie podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Never Split Up podcast. My name's Nolan, along with Oriana and Anthony. Today, we are covering the 90s once again. We are doing our top 10 favorite movies of the 90s. What's going on, guys? How you doing? I know this is going to be a big episode for everyone.
I hated this list. I will say that right off the bat. It was hard. It was very difficult because I love a lot of 90s, but excited to talk about the ones I put in my top 10.
Yeah, I know I say this every ranking, but this is the decade we were born, so this is the most nostalgic and special to me, and this is truly one of the hardest rankings I've had to do for the podcast yet. It really tore me apart.
Yeah, we've been texting in the group chat sporadically, and you're just texting how difficult it's been for all of us. It's we were born in the 90s, early 90s for me and you, Ant. I don't know about Oriana. I don't ask her age, but I'm assuming you're around the same age as us. And it's I didn't see these movies in theaters because we were still so young. Maybe you saw one or two in the very late 90s, but for me, it was going to Blockbuster, and these were all available at Blockbuster. They were always on TV, playing on TV. So just feel so nostalgic for all these movies on my list. And I'm sure similar to you guys. Once we get into the 2000s, then it's going to be extra hard because then it's movies where you've seen in theaters for the first time. So that's going to be kind of a different kind of nostalgia. But this is this holds a special place this decade because I remember growing up on TV, watching some of these movies and, like I said, doing Blockbuster nights and bringing these movies home. So this is going to be fun. So we are wrapping up our decades discourse, if you will. We started all the way back pre-1960s. We've made it all the way to the 90s. This is going to wrap that up for now. It's the end of summer here. It's the end of August. So we're going to switch gears. I think we mentioned it last episode. We're going to switch gears and get into Halloween season here at the Never Split Up podcast. So we're going to put a halt to all this and return to the 2000s probably sometime after Halloween. So this is the big kind of finale for this kind of summer season. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I can't wait to see your guys' list, see how different they are. I feel like each ranking of these decades has been really interesting and fascinating. We've had a lot of overlaps, but we've had a lot of different lists too. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I love the variety on all of our lists so far. I know we had some of the same picks, but it's cool to see how we all have some different picks in there. So let's see if that trend continues.
Yes. And before we start real quick, you want to shout out our last episode?
Yeah, guys, so we started covering their 90s with The Faculty from 1998, directed by Robert Rodriguez. If you guys haven't checked out that episode, go over on whatever podcast you want to listen Podcast Forum or YouTube and subscribe and check it out. We appreciate it. We're really proud of that episode. It was a lot of fun talking about that movie. And we'll see if it's on any of our lists tonight, so make sure you check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I think I mentioned this before as well, but we've been getting a lot of positive feedback and a lot of listeners throughout this whole summer season. It's usually a slower season for us here, being a horror podcast. In the summer, everyone's busy. I know we're busy, but so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in and listening to us. We really do appreciate it, and we're super excited for Halloween right around the corner. So let's go. We're trying to formulate our schedule as we speak. We'll probably get that out to you. I like to do a Halloween schedule every year and throw it out there so people know what to expect. So I'll get that out there as soon as possible. So follow us on social media if you haven't. Okay, let's kick it off then. Without further ado, let's just get underway. This is going to be big and fun. I know you guys have a ton of honorable mentions. We'll get to those a little bit later, maybe after our maybe before we get to our top 5, we'll cover some honorable mentions. But for now, we'll start at number 10 and we'll work our way down. I don't think I've gone first in a little bit, so I'll kick us off if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, we'll do Nolan, me, then Oriana, because I feel like Oriana goes first a lot. So let's do that.
Yeah, let's save her for last this time. All right, sounds good. So, okay, number 10 for me is Cube, released in 1997. This is one that really holds a special place in my heart. I just mentioned like Blockbuster and everything. I remember seeing this for the first time with my brother. I've talked about my brother on the podcast before, super influential to me. He was 8 years older than me, so he was always showing me movies that I was probably too young to see. But, my parents didn't care. They were pretty cool like that. So this is one that my brother's like, oh, you got to watch this. This is crazy. And this is one that stuck with me and is still, I still watch. It's super rewatchable. It's got like, it's got like a sci-fi element to it. People call it like a sci-fi horror, but to me, it's not really sci-fi because it's so like practical and industrial. It doesn't have a lot of like fantastical elements to it or fictional elements. It feels like it could happen. And yeah, it's really cool. It's really creepy. The premise is awesome. You don't know what the hell's going on. These strangers are kind of dropped in these. I mean, it's called Cube. They're basically in this giant labyrinth, which is a giant cube with identical rooms. And some rooms have traps, some rooms don't have traps, and they have to figure out how to escape this cube. And they have no idea what's going on. I love how ambiguous it is. I love the ending. Without spoiling too much, if anyone hasn't seen it, but the ending doesn't really explain anything, which is pretty cool. The sequels kind of go into the explanations, which is fine because that's kind of what sequels are for. But this first movie is so solid. The characters are awesome. I just realized this when I was looking up these movies, when I was looking up Cube. The doctor in this film, the actress's name is Nikki Guadangi. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Guadangi. She is the grandmother in Ready or Not. And I was like, holy crap, I never put that together. So she's in this. But yeah, really solid movie, and I still watch this from time to time. It's really good.
Oh, that's a cool pick. I think it does like blend like the body, like horror with psychological and sci-fi. I think it's like a good blend in that movie.
Yeah, the practical effects are awesome in this. Yeah, the gore.
I think I watched it once, but I haven't rewatched it since. So now I definitely want to go back.
It holds
and
up. It
rewatch
really holds up because it's not like super sci-fi. It's like it's like a Saw kind of movie. It's before Saw, like because it's very like all the traps are like remind you of Saw. It's not like super. It's not like crazy lasers and stuff. It's like all kind of like flamethrowers and like wire traps and stuff. So it's really cool. It holds up though for sure.
I like it. That's a good unique pick to start
Yeah.
with. All right.
Right?
My number 10 is like a huge horror thriller classic, and it's The Silence of the Lambs from 1991.
Wow, number 10, nice. Starting off with a
Great.
banger.
Yeah, I know people are like, it's not. I'm like, this is horror. I mean, I don't know how more horrific you want to get. Cannibal and a
Right.
guy who's killing women and taking their skin and wants to be. I mean, come on, what are we talking about? So, this is the iconic Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter and the equally as iconic Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling. I mean, they both won, not that I care about awards, but they both won Academy Awards for this. It's one of the most nominated horror movies of all time. And it's just so special. I mean, Ted Levine, he freaks me out as Buffalo Bill. He freaks me out so much. I mean, it's so iconic. How many times do we say, puts lotion on the skin or else you get the hose again? I mean, there's so many iconic lines delivered by all three stars. And it's a long movie, but I never feel the runtime because the way it builds and builds the dread is just next level and so suspenseful. The third act, when she's in that basement, when the pitch black, I don't know if I've ever felt tension like that in another movie. I mean, it's next level tension. I'm on the edge of my seat. It's just all blends so well to be such a. It's a perfect movie. I know some of these movies on my list I love, but I can say like this is objectively a perfect movie, and it's so well done. Jonathan Demme, rest in peace. He killed it with this one, and I do try to watch it like every winter, and it's just so. I forget how bleak it is every time, but I also love discovering these characters again, and they're just so well cast. And you couldn't cast anyone else in these roles. So yeah, this is a biggie for me. I love it so much, and it's one of the goats of all time, and it just happened to come out in the 90s.
Yeah. It's so like iconic too. There's so many like lines, and he's so like Anthony Hopkins is just so creepy in it, like with the way he's like staring at her from, even though he's like behind like even his like
When he's standing there
mask,
waiting
like,
for her, and all
yeah,
that, it's
he's
so
just
good.
freaking, yeah, he's creepy. So
And there's two
good pick.
villains in one horror movie. It's like iconic. Like you don't talk about that enough. We get two villains in here, so it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
Right.
in the history of cinema can command a screen more than Anthony Hopkins, especially in
Nope.
this movie. I mean, he just fills up the whole space, even when he's in
Yeah.
like the background of a shot. It's like, oh my
It's
gosh,
perfect.
yeah.
And is an icon. All right. Well, so my number 10, actually, I didn't realize it till after we started recording. I had a top 11. So
Okay.
yeah, so I ended up, so I had, it was like picking between two, but this was originally my top, like it was 11, but now it's 10. And it's not as iconic as Ants, but it's going to be Blair Witch Project. The first time I watched this film, I was going camping for the first time. So watching this film, I remember being terrified the next night, going out into the woods, and I had to pee. And so I just remember the marketing for everything made you believe that this was a real story. Like I remember watching it and being like, oh, there's definitely a witch out there in the woods that is like leaving these little figures. And I remember like going to bed and thinking about these things. So it left just like a huge impression. And that was at the time my first found footage film. So to feel like it was actually like real, I think that kind of sparked like my later on interest of why I do like found footage, is because it's like it feels so real. Like it actually kind of terrifies you. And I mean, like, I just feel like they did such a great job of keeping things like a mystery and kind of making the characters feel completely alone and lost and not really knowing what's going on, and just out looking for a story about a witch, and then everyone's getting picked off one by one until you're isolated alone by yourself in the woods, and then to find your friend at the end, just like the way, and it's just it's it was, to me at that time, it was just very impressionable. So yeah, I had to put it on my list of in top because it left a lasting impression on me.
Legendary movie. Love it. No notes about that movie.
Yeah, I think your experience with that film resonates with a lot of people, especially of our age range. Was kind of their introduction to found footage. You know, it kind of brought that back into the fold, and yeah, the marketing is just legendary as well. So, okay,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
next already. All
Yep.
right, great. Number 9 for me is going to be 1997's "I Know What You Did Last Summer." This is a film we covered. Me and Anthony covered. We covered the sequel as well. So go check out that episode. I thought that those episodes were really well done. We had fun covering those. I believe I said in my final thoughts for that episode, this movie is just so solid. There's really no weaknesses to this film. I think I gave it like mid to high eights when we covered it. I might even bump it up a little bit more on retrospect for that review. But I mean, what can you say? The cast, the killer, the kills. I think the only nitpick I had was like in our review, but I don't even know why, because I was watching the episode. I was like, why did I even bring that up? Because it's such a small little thing. Was I think I wanted the fisherman to kind of have more hook kills, but I don't even
Yeah.
really feel that anymore because it's just such a fun movie. Obviously, you have such legendary chase scenes with Helen Shivers, and you know the ending is so iconic, and the beginning is so iconic, and so like the whole movie is just so iconic for someone growing up in the 90s and early 2000s. You have all these actresses and actors. Uh, yeah, it's just a solid film. I know, again, we're going to be talking about this again in this episode, I'm sure, but I have nothing bad to say. I mean, it's I guess the only reason it's not higher is I wasn't watching it like on repeat when I was a kid, like maybe some others were. I kind of rediscovered it as an adult, and I have this like newfound appreciation for it. I think like in my 20s, I like rewatched it and then I like was hooked on it. So I think because I don't have that nostalgia factor like I do with so many of these other movies, it's not higher up, but to no fault of its own. I mean, it's just such a solid, fun movie. I mean, you can't go wrong throwing on this film. Summer, winter, fall, spring. I mean, it doesn't matter. I know it's a 4th of July movie, but you can watch this all year round. It's so solid, so good.
Yeah, all timer. that's my
Yep.
baby you're talking about right there.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
All right. I mean, the Fisherman is such an iconic, like underrated horror villain that doesn't get talked about enough. He's so iconic.
He
Oh, love
is.
the look.
Yeah, I mean, we got the new movie. I feel like he's starting to get his flowers a little bit, though. I mean, we'll see if they keep it up with the franchise if it keeps going. But yeah, I think it's kind of entering that status where people are kind of being like, you know what,
Hell
he
yeah.
is pretty iconic. Yeah, because
He
for a
made
while
my
he wasn't
He
he wasn't
made my
talked about at
villain list.
all.
He made
Yeah.
my villain list when we
Yeah.
did that ranking. All right, my number 10. I guess I started my 10 and 9 with the two like prestige horror movies, but I am going with the movie that came out the year I was born, and I'm going with 1992's Candyman, directed by Bernard Rose and written by Clive Barker, our boy Clive Barker, and starring obviously the late great iconic Tony Todd as Candyman and my girl Virginia Madsen as Helen. I mean, you don't get better casting than Tony Todd as Candyman. No one. I mean, I really actually did enjoy the requel that they did, but I mean, Tony Todd is Candyman, 100%. He just delivers such a haunting, like kind of intoxicating. You're like scared of him, but you're intrigued by him at the same time. It's so weird how he's able to like do both of those things and intrigue you, but also terrify you. I remember the opening scene as a kid when she's like hooking up with the boyfriend, babysitting, and she goes in the bathroom and says Candyman, and then you just see the blood on the ceiling, and he pops out behind her in the mirror. That terrified me as this movie scared me as a kid. It really did scare me. The score is next level. I feel like it doesn't get talked about horror score wise, and the score on this is just so iconic. Virginia Madsen really carries the movie as the protagonist. She's so good, and every time she goes to Cabrini Green or goes somewhere she's not, I'm like, girl, like, what are you doing? Get out of there. And then her descent into madness is just so heartbreaking and frustrating to watch because we know like what she's going through, and everyone else is just blaming her for all these killings, and Candyman really is setting her up good, and it's just so sad and so upsetting. And it's really bloody too. It gets super bloody and gnarly. It's almost like it feels like an operatic horror movie. It's like so classy, but also just it is still a splatterfest. And then the ending never fails to like get me so emotional. It has everything that I like in horror. It has the slashing, it has the great score, great script, the thrill, suspense, but also like so much emotion, which I feel like we're missing from horror movies these days. So yeah, Candyman's an all timer for me. I love it so much.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like when they did the remake, I feel like it was not as bad as everyone was
No,
trying to
it's
make
good.
it out to be.
I thought
Yeah.
it was really good.
So
Except the ending was a little too much,
yeah,
but I thought the movie was really well
yeah,
done.
yeah. But it's hard to beat like a classic like that.
They're great.
Okay, so this one I don't know how many people would classify it as a horror, but it is a horror to me because people still die in it. But I love the aesthetic and just the overall story, and it's Sleepy Hollow. I loved the Headless Horseman and then the tree that it came out with all of the different like body, like the skulls and everything. And of course, you got Johnny Depp and Christopher Walken's, Christina Ricci, and so many others. And for me, just watching that, I loved just the moodiness of it. And I loved that the whole style and just watching that story. And I feel like, I don't know, it holds a special place in my heart, and that's where a lot of this list is. So, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, you're
It
speaking my
looks
language.
gorgeous. Yeah.
I love gothic horror.
It's
It's
just
definitely
so
horror. Gothic
yeah.
horror.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I
It's
mean,
just
I
like
had Ichabod Crane on our pre 60s list, so that was on my
mhm.
so I
Yeah.
always loved the
He's
Legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. So I'll be talking about that coming up soon. Yeah, you're
okay.
speaking my language. I love that film.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Christopher
Very
Walken is just
atmospheric.
like I remember his like with the teeth and everything looking so creepy.
Yeah.
And like the whole tree, I just loved the idea of the tree and when they're like chopping into it. It's just yeah, I love
Yeah,
that
it's good.
movie.
I mean, it's a slow burn, but it works
Mhm.
because of the mood and the atmosphere and the kind of
Yeah.
gothic setting. You're like in that world. It's so great. I'm planning a trip to Sleepy Hollow. We live like a couple hours
Yeah.
away from the town of Sleepy Hollow. I've never been, so I'm taking the fam up there. I think in September they're doing like a street fair to kick off the Halloween season. They have like the Headless Horseman running around and stuff, so I can't wait. to
Yeah.
go to that. So yeah,
That
great pick
sounds
though.
so fun. Yeah.
Great pick. Okay, number 8 for me. On to number 8. Whew, another iconic film, and another iconic villain. It's 1990's Misery. Kathy Bates, James Caan. I
Oh.
mean, what more can you say? That's it, right? I mean, so many
Right.
iconic lines, so many iconic movies. I just did a rewatch of this last week in preparation for this episode. I like to do rewatches to kind of slide things in where I want in the ranking. I watched it with my wife who had never seen it before, so that was fun to get kind of someone's perspective. Because I mean, I grew up with this movie, so it's always fun to show someone a movie that you grew up with that they've never seen and to get the reaction. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, just a tour de force from Kathy Bates. I mean, when I see her, I still think of Annie Wilkes. It's her defining role for me personally. I know she's had so many iconic roles and she's such a tremendous actress, but um, I will always go back to this role for her and her some of the line delivery that she has and her mood changes, how she switches on a dime is so uncanny and so creepy. I think this movie is more relevant than ever now that you have like the book talk people and stuff and the people that are obsessed with like these book series. I think this is pretty relevant today still, so it holds up in that way. My boy Buster, the sheriff, one of the saddest deaths ever. It's so sad every time, and I root for him every single time, and it's so abrupt, but it's so sad. And, I'm always screaming at the TV. So that's a moment that I hate, but I also love. It's such a great movie. I can't wait to cover this. We should think about putting this on the agenda for the wintertime because this is one of my favorites ever. And I love talking about this film and some of the iconic scenes. The hobbling scene. I mean, just there's so many
I
great
cringe
ones.
every time.
Yeah.
It has you yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
You're
Which I
just
love.
screaming at like.
And I
Lots of
didn't even
emotion.
really talk about Paul. James Caan. He's such a likable, down to earth kind of character. He's an author who doesn't want his career to be defined by this like book series that he just feels like got away from him and is kind of taken on a life of its own. He wants to become a more, I guess, respected author in a more grounded tone. And, he has this rabid fan. He plays it off so well though throughout the movie. And that's what I love about it. He's a character you can really root for because he is smart with a lot that he does. But in the end, it's like, Annie Wilkes is always like one step ahead. She's like kooky and zany, but she's smart too. So it's that great cat and mouse game, which I love about it.
She's one of the great female horror villains. And James Caan, he's a good final boy. He's a great final boy. Love him in this movie. I love the fight at the end. It's so good. You are screaming at the movie. You're like, get her, get out of there. It's so good. I love this movie so much. We definitely have to cover it in the winter. It's such a good winter movie. All right, we're on number 8. My number 8 is going to be The Faculty.
Nice.
1998. We just covered this. I just gushed about it for over an hour last episode. So go check that out. But it has everything I want in a horror movie. Iconic 90s cast that cannot be replicated today. Great direction, amazing writing by Kevin Williamson, great direction by Robert Rodriguez, fun soundtrack, fun punk rock soundtrack, and it's a slasher mixed with, they incorporate the sci-fi so well for someone for me who's not like huge on sci-fi horror. They really like have like a little mixture of, Scream, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and it just works and blends so well. I love every single cast member. I love all the characters. It's just creative and it's unique compared to the other like movies that came out following Scream. I feel like they try to do something unique with The Faculty versus the other ones, which I also love so much. But this one's super special to me. I mean, you guys can go see the high score I gave it on our last episode. But yeah, go check out that episode because I literally rave about this movie, the entire thing. So great opening scene, great cast, love it so much.
Yeah,
Right.
great movie.
Yep.
I was really happy that we covered that and that your pick won because I had a really good time watching that film and covering it with you guys. It's very solid. So great pick. I wasn't sure if it was going to land on the top 10 or not, or where it was going to land. So number 8 for you. Good. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my number 8 is a slasher that I felt like didn't get talked about a whole lot, and that was Urban Legend. I loved all of the different like urban legends that they were taking a play on, and then I love that the twist at the end was actually that we had like a female slasher. Like I loved that, and so I just remember putting like watching. I actually ended up watching it later. I watched the second one, and then I went back and watched the first one. So later on, realizing like it didn't make sense in the second one. So when I went back, I was like, oh my God, she's insane. Like I love her. Like I love that actress. I can't think of her name right
Rebecca
now.
Gayheart.
Yes, I love
Amazing.
her. Like she's amazing. And I like when it comes to like when we talk about like villains and stuff, I feel like she really doesn't get as much recognition. And so yeah, I had to put her on the list because it's just she's iconic and she deserves more love.
And she makes it out of the movie alive.
Yeah, she does.
Brenda
right?
gets away with it. I friggin'
Right?
love this movie. The cast, again,
Right?
unbeatable cast.
Yeah.
But Brenda is such a good, iconic slasher. And she camps it up. She does the scream like monologue, but she goes berserk and makes it her own. She's so damn good.
Mhm.
So damn good. I love
Yeah.
the opening scenes, next level, amazing, creepy. Loved Natalie Alicia Witt as a final girl. I like Jared Leto in this movie, but Loretta Devine as
The only
Reese
one.
too. Like she's the campus
Yeah.
security, amazing. Tara Reid
love
made
her.
she made my top 10 favorite chase scenes in our chase scene episodes. So yeah, this movie has all the goods.
It's got everything. Like I feel like it was in that right time of when like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream,
Mhm.
and all of these like slashers were coming out. I feel like it didn't really get a whole lot of like love like the others did. But yeah.
I love it. Yeah, another
And I also
female
love the
villain
sequel
on the
too.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the sequel is done well too. Like, I don't know. The whole opening of like it's on a plane and you think it's real, and then it's like, oh no, it's on a soundstage. So, yeah.
Love to see the female killers represent. So that's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Love it. Okay. Number 7. On to number 7. This is my favorite movie from the year I was born, 1992. It's Bram Stoker's Dracula. Dracula. I mean, I've talked about Dracula countless times. I feel like on this podcast, when we were going through the decades, I had a few Dracula movies on there. This is the most visually pleasing Dracula movie for me. I mean, the aesthetics, the costume design, the cinematography is just chef's kiss. I love it so much. It's one of the reasons why I just will never get old of this movie. The other reason is the incredible cast. I mean, you see this like A-list cast: Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves. We just talked about Anthony Hopkins. Such an all-star cast. The script is so well done for a movie, for a story that's over 100 years old. You know, they bring something a little bit, a different flavor, if you will, to the table. And the way that everyone kind of portrays their characters is just so unique and different from, I feel like, every other Dracula retelling. And yeah, this movie holds a special place in my heart. I'm trying to remember. I was trying to remember before we press recording. This might have been the first Dracula movie I saw, like just like in general. I can't remember if it was this or if it was Nosferatu when I was very young, but I mean that's kind of Dracula. I mean that's Nosferatu though. So I think this was the first Dracula that I was kind of exposed to as a very young kid. So yeah, I have so much nostalgia watching this on repeat as a kid, like I do with a lot of these movies on my list. But such a great movie, and like I said, it's so visually stunning. Everything from the set pieces to the costume designs, everything is just so meticulous and well crafted. And I feel like it's not a lost art, but you see it less and less, I should say, nowadays. So I want to get back to that kind of that's why I love Robert Eggers so much, because of his attention to detail. Like I want more filmmakers to like go all in with the it's that, Guillermo del Toro, he's still doing it, but this is just a great movie. And if you haven't seen it, you're a fan of Dracula and you somehow haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out like right away.
Yeah. It is It is a beautiful film. I love the way that they did Dracula in this film.
Mm.
This is one of my, maybe I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, Gary
I know
Oldman.
it's so hard not to spoil.
Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, excellent in this
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. That's all you need to say. Yeah, really.
That's really it.
It's
Right?
like,
All right, number 7. My number 7, I believe this might be our first overlap, and my number 7 is The Blair Witch Project. It is my favorite found footage horror film of all time. It's the best. It's the GOAT. The thing that this movie does so well is it realizes that what you're going to imagine in your head is scarier than anything that could be shown on the screen. And the way it plays with you about the darkness and them being chased and in the house, you don't ever see the Blair Witch, but whatever you're thinking up here is going to terrify you and it'll scare you when you go to sleep. So if you haven't seen this, I would really recommend watching it in the pitch black. Crank the volume up, watch it alone in the pitch black, and if you don't go to bed creeped out, you don't have a heartbeat, because this movie absolutely terrified me as a kid. I remember when it came out, it can't do marketing like this anymore. They actually like released that they were all missing, and people like going to see the movie opening weekend thought it was real, like real found footage. So expert marketing, it really like kicked off. I feel like where some of the cool marketing trends come out today, they can thank Blair Witch for like doing such a good job back in the late 90s. Our trio, they all like descend into madness in the most believable way. You like love to hate them, but you also like understand because they're paranoia and they're so disoriented and they don't know what's going on and they're just getting so frustrated. And that one night when one of them goes missing, it's just so terrifying. And when they find that house and they go in, it's just next level terror. I love how it's a short movie, but it just does it. The sense of dread does not stop. And that last scene of Michael in the corner and Heather just screaming and her camera dropping, it's bone chilling. It's bone chilling. It doesn't get beat. And I feel like every other movie in that franchise, well, I actually came around to the one from 2016 when I first saw. I'm like, they're showing too much. I actually think it's a fun sequel and a good direct sequel to this. Nothing ever captures the fear of this OG. So I'm really looking forward to the one they are like, I guess, in development on now. I know they're gonna harken back to the OG, so I hope they like have the vibe of this, but like maybe like even up it. But yeah, this one is just a pure masterclass in terror, and it's my favorite found footage film of all time. I'm happy. It's one of my favorite episodes that we recorded on this movie, so I love this movie so much, and I just watched it a couple months ago, and I can't wait to watch it again.
It holds up, at least like
Yeah.
for me, even like
Me too.
knowing it isn't real. For like, I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's still
Mhm.
interesting for me to watch. Like, I love a lot of the shots. Like, I mean, you're looking straight like that, such an unflattering shot, but it's such an iconic shot. When you think of Blair Witch, you think of either the little sticks, what's his face standing in the corner of the wall, or the like no
Yep.
shot. So it's so iconic.
And I have it tattooed on me, so it has to be on my list.
Of course. That would be so like that would be blasphemy if you didn't have it on your. Okay, so my number 7 is Halloween H2O. I loved Halloween growing up, so I remember like watching like the original and loving the original, and when this came out I was like, okay, here's Michael. And the fact that like Laurie we thought was dead and then she comes back and has like this new identity, and of course we have Josh Hartnett in it, who it's Josh Hartnett. But I have fun with this one. Like I remember just this is what I would go and we would rent at Blockbuster, and then we later owned it. So I have like fond memories of going to Blockbuster, renting Halloween H2O because it was a new Michael Myers movie, and I'm blanking on her name right now. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know, pure nostalgia when I watch Halloween H2O. And we later get Josh Hartnett, who goes on is in The Faculty, which I also love. So that was easy for me to be like, yes. And then, I love him in 30 Days of Night, but that didn't come till later.
You just name dropped all of my favorites right there. My boy Josh Hartnett.
The way I heard, I'll have can't do top like of all time. That's definitely there.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Halloween H2O.
Great
Love
pick.
that.
Awesome. Okay, we're number 6 now already. Get
Yes.
through it, plowing right through. Okay, Number 6 for me is one I was a little bummed we didn't get to cover this summer. It is Deep Blue Sea, released in 1999. Probably the most fun movie on my list. It's just ridiculous in all the right ways. It's campy, but it doesn't go too far into camp. The premise, I guess I would say, is campy, but it's not like campy where it's just like ridiculous like when you're watching it. It's got some really intense scenes. The cast is amazing. Thomas Jane, LL Cool J,
Yeah.
who's a great final, one of the all-time final boys for me. Samuel L. Jackson. You got Stellan Skarsgård, who plays an awesome role in this movie. So it's got a really good cast, and they're just having a lot of fun. Some of the sequences, like I was saying, like LL Cool J in the kitchen, when the shark is stalking him in the kitchen, and he's in the oven and stuff. It's such a great film, one that I watch every summer. And yeah, I don't know what else I could say. I mean, if you haven't seen Deep Blue Sea, go watch it if you're a fan of sharks. It's so good. It holds up too. I mean, it's people I feel like maybe will stick their nose up at me when I say that this is like legitimately one of my favorite, like not just like shark movies, but one of my favorite movies to watch, like especially in the summertime. It's so fun and it's scary. Like it scared me as a kid. It was, obviously Jaws without, that goes without being said, but this was right up there with Jaws in terms of like how many times I rewatched it as a kid. I mean, it was on the TV all the time. And I was just so fascinated with sharks, and this was a big reason why. So, yeah, Deep Blue Sea had to be on the list.
Yeah, I love Deep Blue Sea. I had to make it one of my honorable mentions, but you're right, the kitchen scene where he's like putting himself in the oven was so intense. And the thought of being that far deep under the ocean and having to get up terrified me as a
Right?
kid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so yeah, I love it.
It's one of the best shark movies ever made. I don't care.
Best number one
It's
shark
so good.
movie
It's
for me
so
at
good.
least.
The oven scene gets me so claustrophobic. I'm so upset
Mhm.
when the bird goes, but I love how he gets his revenge. Like, you ate my bird. Hello,
Yeah.
just blows the shark up. There's some really suspenseful scenes. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's iconic speech and death scene is next
Yes,
level.
I
Thomas
know.
Jane just being like the ultimate final boy in that movie.
Yes, yeah.
So good. He's such a badass.
And it's
It's
to
just great.
Oriana's point too. It's such a cool concept too, how they
Yeah.
have to kind of reach the surface. I mean that scene where they're in the big shaft and they have to like wait for the water
Mhm.
level to rise and they have to time it and the sharks are. I mean, it's so cool. There's so many cool sequences in this
It's
film for sure.
it's so good because they made them smarter. It's their fault, and they're like
Right.
hunting
Mhm.
them down one by one. They're like, "Yeah, fuck you, bitches. We got you."
Yep.
It's
Yes.
so epic too. It feels
Good
so
pick.
big. It feels
Yeah.
like a summer blockbuster too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. All right, my number 6 is going to be a sequel, and it is "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer" from 1998.
Wow.
No one knows
Nice.
I love this. I love this sequel so much. It's one of my favorites of the 90s. Clearly, it's the movie that made me fall in love with Julie James even more than the OG, and made her become one of my top favorite final girls in this movie. She really steps up to the plate. I love that she confronts Ben Willis. I love the twist so much. I mean, it's hilarious. Will Benson, Ben's son. I mean, come on, this is iconic camp stuff, but it's also still scary. I feel like the new one, I find it more watchable the more I watch it, but it's not my I Know What You Did Last Summer. This one blends like the scary thrills with like we're in on the fun too, way better than that new movie. It's so good. It still has chase scenes. Brandy has an iconic chase scene on a roof. She falls to the roof, goes through a flower room, and she gets chased again through the hotel. It's iconic stuff. You see Jennifer Love Hewitt with like an unbuttoned blouse and running on with an axe. I mean, it's hot. It's just hot. It's hot and fun. And Freddie Prinze Jr. is our final boy. He comes to save the day, and there's just nothing like Jennifer Love Hewitt's scream. And I love that they changed the location and they went to an island, so it feels bigger and it feels different, but it also has like the formula that we love from the first one. It's just a fun slasher, and it's so good. And I'm so happy that Jennifer Love Hewitt like came back for this one and the new one, but this one really is my favorite performance of hers from this franchise. And the ending too, when she has another nightmare and he pulls her under the bed, it's just iconic stuff. Mekhi Phifer with the hook through his throat it's just great. Amuse Watson, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit as like a good villain because I really hate him in this movie. He comes to play. I love in the cemetery, the final showdown with the rain at the cemetery. There's just so many iconic moments, and it's actually a lot more bloody and gory. The kills go like next level in this one versus the first one. I feel like this one has more fun, where the first one's more suspenseful, but this one's just all timer slasher goodness for me, and I love it so much.
Yeah. I'm so mad I gave myself a rule of no doubles. Oh, because yeah.
Yeah, I did not give
I
myself
love
that
that.
rule.
I love that. Like, it's the perfect sequel to the original for me. Like, I love that they did take it to an island. I love the twist at the end. I love that we have like Brandy as a final girl, and then like the kills too felt even more vicious than the first one. And of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt in this. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. comes to save the day. Like,
Hmm.
Ray is coming to, yeah. So
Love it.
love it. Love.
It's so
All
good.
right. All right, so my number 6, I will fight anyone that says it's not horror because it eats people, but it is Jurassic Park.
Horror.
Yeah, I just remember being young and just wanting to go to this park and get to see these dinosaurs, and then after all hell breaks loose, like the T-Rex in the scenes where they're falling off the cliff, terrifying, where it's just like the whole like trying to climb up the electrical wire is also terrifying. Like, I love this film growing up, and so I just I had to put it in my top because it's like these dinosaurs. It's like you're putting these people, like, of course, what if all hell breaks loose and the power goes out and this freaking T-Rex decides to just toss your little fence like it's nothing and go eat? It's just the idea of being trapped on this island and no way out, and these like huge dinosaurs are stalking you basically, and you got, yeah, I loved it. So I love I love this. And I love the whole 3. The whole like 3, like 1 through 3 for me was
Hmm.
just solid growing up watching all of those. So I would always rewatch this. I had like it on VHS, and the cover is just like torn because of how many times I watched this one. But yeah. You got Jeff Goldblum, you got the late Sam Neill, and the late didn't what no, she didn't. Sorry, I was like, did she
No,
pass?
no,
No,
Laura Dern's still
no,
with us.
no, she's
We
still
love
with
her.
us. Yes.
No, I feel like
So,
the
yeah.
first 3 are 100% horror movies, and then the later ones are like horror, action, adventure. But the first 3
Yeah.
are horror, and the
Very
OG,
horror.
I've watched it like on repeat as a kid, all time.
Yeah. It's like, it's such a good film. I don't know. We have someone here that actually has like a Jurassic Park vehicle. Like, they decked out
Mm.
their Jeep with
I like the
all of
Jeep.
it. It
That's
looks like,
awesome.
yeah, it looks just like it. Yeah, I always see him driving around, and I'm like, I envy you, sir.
I want your Jeep.
Yeah, I've
I
seen. I
want your
think we
Jeep.
have
We
someone
have
near us
one
too.
too.
We have a
Yeah, we
couple
do
we've
too.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Every time I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay,
One
I
day.
think that wraps it up for now. We'll do the top 5 after
Mhm.
our honorable mentions. Let's get to those. So I'll let Ant go first because I don't have as many. I guess. Do you have 10? Were you able to?
I can give
limit
you
it to
just 10, even though there's some more, but I can do 10.
Okay. So then why don't we just go like we normally do? You just rattle off yours, and then we'll go to us.
Yeah, guys, any of these that I mentioned right now could have replaced like a spot on my top 10. These are all belong and deserve to be on that list just as much as my top 10. So my number 11, I did like a family horror movie with the Monster Squad in our 80s, and this one is like the family horror movie of all time. And I know it's like the generic pick, but I don't care. It's amazing, and I love it, and it feels like Explodes Halloween, and it's Hocus Pocus. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I watch it all the time throughout spooky season, and so does everybody else because they have no other choice 'cause it's always on TV. But it's a banger. I love it. It's so special to me. Sequel was fun. Doesn't touch this classic at all. I hope they have a good time with the part 3, but there's just something so magical about the 90s, and the 3 women just do so good, so good, and they're epic and amazing. And I love our protagonists so good. I hope we get them back if they do another one. I feel like they were missing from part 2. We should have had some of the OGs, but yeah, it's the best family, one of the best family horror movies ever made. This hurt me so much, but The Sixth Sense, yeah, it made I think we did our like favorite like plot twists or twist endings, and this was on that list. Bruce Willis, Haley Joel Osment, and Tony Collette. Just what a trifecta, and it's scary, but again, what connects me the most with this movie is just how emotional it is. That ending, the last like 20 minutes, you're just sobbing. The whole ending is just so
You're like,
sad
oh my
and
God.
heartwarming. It's just you're like your jaws drop from the twist, but you're also just so sad because of the touching moments. The scene with Tony Collette and Haley Joel Osment in the car when he talks about her dead mom, it's just like, oh, it crushes me every time. And Bruce Willis just plays it so well. And I love when you go back and you see everything. You're like, oh my God, how did I not know the whole time this twist? Because it's so in your face, but you're just so like absorbed in the story, you don't even care. But yeah, so that's all timer. Oriana, Urban Legend, I'm with you. One of my favorite slashers. So damn good, epic. All hail Brenda. Bring her back for a requel. I love it so much. Child's Play 2 and Bride of Chucky. I'm upset I couldn't put Child's Play on the list, but they just missed it. But those are my two favorite sequels in the franchise. You had the serious Child's Play 2, which I would argue has the best third act of that franchise. And then you had the most fun installment of the entire franchise is Bride of Chucky. It's just, I mean, Jennifer Tilly, come on. It's just iconic. Iconic. Talk about iconic lines. I quote that movie to this day. It's epic. House on Haunted Hill was on my favorite remake list, and it just missed this. I think that's a perfect, fun remake. Again, punk rock. You got Marilyn Manson playing, and it gets vicious and bloody and gory and scary. I like that we have a supernatural horror movie that's like rated R. Love it. Deep Blue Sea, just missed. It's again one of my favorite shark movies, so I'm happy it was on Nolan list. It's an all timer for me. Jurassic Park, I love so much. It just missed too, but it is the most horrific version of Jurassic Park that we've got. And there's so many sequences. I always remember when Laura Dern's like in the basement and she's running from one of the dinosaurs, the raptors, and she like leans back and she's like, "Oh, I have someone," and then she pulls his arm off because his arms. I'm like, this is terrifying.
Nope.
And the
Right.
kitchen scene when the raptors chasing the kids, it's like this is literally like a horror chase scene right now. It's a horror set piece. So anyone who says it's not horror doesn't know what horror is. So that one, and then just my last two, Lake Placid again, along with Deep Blue Sea. Lake Placid is just a banger, fun killer croc alligator movie. I love it so much. I just rewatched this a couple weeks ago and it holds up so well. It's like a quick 80 minutes, but again, it's just so much fun and the cast is iconic. And then my last one is Buffy the Vampire Slayer from 1992. We all know the show's epic, but this movie is how I was introduced to the character. And again, it's just one of the most quotable 90s. It's so 90s in the best way. And the cast is, I mean, David Arquette, we have Hilary Swank, we have friggin' Ben Affleck, we have Donald Sutherland, we have Christy Swanson, so many iconic actors. And when I just rewatched it the other week, I'm like, they don't make movies fun like this anymore. It's so Paul Rubin. It's just iconic stuff. So those are some of the ones that I'm really upset that didn't make it on my list, but they could be on my list. And I'll leave the rest for another day because there's like another 20 I can go through. But those are the 10 that I'm really upset I had to leave off.
So I'm gonna rattle off because I have. Oh wait, is it? Oh no, it's my turn. Yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah, go
rattle
ahead. No, it's
off
fine.
because yeah, I have a long list. Okay. So one that I'm really mad that didn't make that was switching between Blair Witch and this one was The Crow. I love Eric
Mm.
Draven. I love this like moody emo, like he's getting his revenge. Like I love The Crow. I think it's just amazing. Again, House on Haunted Hill, best remake. I loved it. Super fun. Any of the Scream 2 or 3 could be easily replace any of the top 10 for me. I love all of them. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I love that sequel. I love Interview with the Vampire. It's not my favorite vampire movie, but I love the gothic feel. Again, if we're talking about like aesthetically pleasing films, love that one. The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp, where he's trying to figure out the inscriptions of this book. I loved him going out, and some of those like sequences I remember like creeping me out as a kid. Anaconda, it's silly, but I was just remember being really afraid of snakes after that, thinking like, oh, they can really unlock their jaws. And like, if I were to ever meet one, I would die. The Faculty, of course, I love The Faculty, like we discussed on the last episode. It's just so many iconic scenes. And again, we have another villainous, like final, final villain. That's a woman. So
Yep.
I love that one. Deep Blue Sea, favorite shark film. And then Wishmaster. I really love the practical effects of Wishmaster. I think it felt very ahead of its time. So I like to rewatch it, especially for the practical and special effects.
I rent to Wishmaster all the time at the video store on VHS, and I owned it. I owned it after that, but I love that movie.
Yeah, good.
Okay, I will wrap up the honorable mentions here. So, all right, guys, I fucked up.
Uh-oh.
My ADHD brain, it got lost in the fray. It should have made my top 10, but I didn't want to like scramble last minute. Oriana covered it on her top 10. Halloween H2O is not on my top 10. It should be. I don't know what happened, Anthony. I was like,
the podcast is over.
It somehow got deleted, but just know that it should be on my top 10. It probably should make like my top 5 or 6 if I had to be realistic, but I don't want to make any changes. Like, we're already recording. Something happened where it got deleted and it was out of my brain. I'm so sorry, but that should be on there because I know a lot of people don't love H2O. Me and Anthony, we adore it. I know you adore it, Oriana. It's a great film. The mask, you could say what you want, but Michael Myers is still scary in this film. The final chase scene with him and Laurie is one of my all-time favorite chase scenes in horror, not just in the franchise, but in horror, where they're kind of she's getting chased around the school. It's such a great portrayal of a final girl. 20 years later, we get to see like how she's reeling from the events of the original film. So yeah, fantastic movie. It should be on my list. I'll put an asterisk on my list. I feel weird like putting it in though and trying to rearrange my list like when we've already started it. So I'm just going to leave it as is and just do that disclaimer. So sorry about that. My real honorable mentions are, go ahead. What was that?
Oh, I was like, that happened to me too. There was one that I had taken off to move and it deleted and then it got mentioned here. And I was like, wait. And then I was like, no, I can't put it. You can't put it.
I know. Well, it's such a biggie too that I feel like shit for doing it on accident. But okay, so my real honorable mentions, like you said, Oriana, Interview with a Vampire. Love it. Love all things vampires. Anaconda. So much nostalgia watching that film. One of the reasons I was scared of snakes growing up. Another fun one, Tremors. I really like Tremors a lot. That's a really fun one. Let's see, The Faculty. Ringu. Love Ringu. I know, Ant, you're a huge fan of The Ring, the American version. I think I prefer Ringu. It's got a little bit creepier feel for me. They're good for different reasons, but I think I prefer this one, and it's so good. That almost made my top 10, but it just missed it. I got Candyman. Love Candyman. Didn't really grow up with it, so don't really have that kind of nostalgia for it like I do with some of these other films. Let's see. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. One of the best meta movies ever made. Heather Langenkamp is fucking awesome in that film. It's an amazing film. I love rewatching that. And then I have not really horror, but it's more of a comedy, but it's a genre film. Mars Attacks. Love Mars Attacks. I used to quote that all the time as a kid. It's such a great one. And then I have another Wes Craven film, People Under the Stairs. That's a great gem that I love as well. So those are my honorable mentions.
All right.
The amount of people that have said Mars Attacks scared them as a child, it should be classified as a horror.
Yeah. No, it did scare me too the first time I watched it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like,
talk about a cast too. I mean, Jack Nicholson is crazy.
Aliens were just so fascinating and scary to me as a kid in general. So like seeing an alien on screen, the fact that they're like main characters was like so different from most other alien movies you see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's get back to our top 5 then. I believe I'm up. And this is another overlap. It's going to be Sleepy Hollow from 1999. like I said, amazing gothic horror. As soon as I turn on this movie, I'm just transported into this town of Sleepy Hollow. Johnny Depp is an amazing leading man playing Ichabod Crane. He puts his own kind of touch on it. Tim Burton really does this story justice, and kind of puts his own kind of flavor into it. Like you said, Christina Ricci is awesome. Christopher Walken is obviously amazing in everything he does. And this is just such a great film. It's like I said, it's a slow burn, but it's so moody and atmospheric, and it builds and builds, and then finally, like you get to the climax of the film with the headless horseman and everything, and it's pretty intense. I mean, it gets pretty intense. Some of the sequences when the villagers are getting killed are really cool, and you look forward to it every time you rewatch the film. It's such a solid film, and it's a story that always resonated with me. I loved the Headless Horseman growing up. It's one of my favorites, on my top villains of all time. So had to slide this in somewhere. So that's going to make my top five.
All right. I
I
love
love
it.
it.
Very good stuff. Okay, my number five. I know Oriana had a rule about like only putting one installment from a franchise, but I couldn't do that for my '90s because it's just too special to me. And my number five is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Again, I mean Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ryan Felipe, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, what a friggin' crew. They made this movie so good. I just love how this one is definitely the most suspenseful and it has the most buildup of the franchise. And you're just so like even Barry, like I love all four of these characters, flaws and all. They do such a bad thing, and obviously the only one who's like morally trying to do the right thing is Julie, but she still shuts up and goes along with it. So you have four characters who like did this horrific thing, and then I mean it works out pretty well that the person who did it to ends up being a murderer. So I mean, you don't feel as bad after you find out the reveal, but you just feel for them. And I feel like the relationship between Julie and Helen is my favorite part of the movie. You see that friendship, and you want them to connect so well, and then it's just so upsetting what happens to my girl Helen Shivers. It's my favorite chase scene in horror. Again, Kevin Williamson writes the hell out of this chase scene. Jim Gillespie, he doesn't get enough credit for directing it, but it's a perfect chase scene. It's the best chase scene ever put in a slasher film of all time. I love the 4th of July setting. I love, the South Carolina setting. I just love the beach setting. I love everything about it. And it's just my baby. Like, it's so rewatchable. I rewatched it how I've always wanted to watch it for the first time this summer, and I watched it on a boat in the water, and
Jealous. So
it did
jealous.
not disappoint. And it's my movie. This is everything I love in a slasher movie. I love the one. I love Ben Willis. I love that, Happy 4th of July, Julie. And I love when he's like, let me give you some advice. When you leave a man for dead, make sure he's really dead. I love the end set piece on the boat. It's just everything I love in a slasher movie. It has the mystery. I feel like a lot of people compare it to Scream, and it did come out after the popularity of Scream, but Kevin Williamson did write this before Scream, so I feel like it just has more of a mystery vibe of like finding out who they hit versus a who done it vibe of Scream. So they are similar because of casting and release date. I feel like they are more different than people give them credit as well. So yeah, this is one of my babies. This along with Scream like defined my '90s. So it's up there. This movie for me of all timer.
Film.
It
No, it's
really
just
is.
it definitely had that same realm of Scream, which is why I mean, loved it growing up. So
Well,
definitely a
yeah.
great film. Great slash. All right. So my number five is my first horror movie ever. And that is Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Nice.
So another overlap. I just remember when I was really young, just the two things I remember was Dracula's hair looked like boobs, and then my mom having to cover my eyes as at the orgy part. But and then when I got older and rewatched it, I really loved the portrayal of Dracula. Like he's always just kind of felt, I don't know. I loved the aesthetic, and I love Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves in this, what is his name? Gary Oldman. Yeah,
Mhm.
Gary Oldman does an amazing job as Dracula. Like as you know, he's just the count, and the way he is very like, he doesn't look the greatest, but the way he carries himself, and then he's just an iconic looking character. But yeah, it's just my favorite Dracula is this Dracula. So I definitely had to put it in my top 5, especially since it was the first horror movie I ever watched. Yeah, loved it.
Awesome. That's great. I didn't know that was your first horror movie. That's cool.
Yes. So when you were like, it was my first Dracula, I was like, it was my first horror movie.
Yeah, he Dracula in this, seeing Winona Ryder is like all of us, especially back in the 90s. This is like, oh, you know.
And Lucy too. Like what is it, Sadie Frost? Amazing. Like I love that, like that whole costume. Just there's so much. There's like you said, I wish there was more detail to films like this, because it just puts you into another world. It really takes you to that time and place that helps you kind of just immerse yourself into the story.
Yeah. Okay, great. Did you catch a couple years ago? Did you catch The Last Voyage of Demeter?
I didn't. It's been on my list to
Ooh,
watch.
that's a good gem. It kind of got overlooked. I feel like it kind of released in the summer, but it was a really cool, atmospheric, moody, and it the ending transitions into Bram Stoker's like seamlessly, because it's, you know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
about
Yeah.
his voyage over. So it's really good though. I don't know. Ann, did you see that one?
Yeah, I liked it. Didn't
Yeah,
love it, but I think it has
yeah.
a
I mean,
really
it's
good
not,
atmosphere.
you know,
It has
yeah.
like atmospheric, like really good.
I think it made my top 10 of the year. It's not like groundbreaking or mind-boggling, but I think you'll really appreciate the kind of mood and the atmosphere. It's really cool.
Yeah, Oriana will like that for sure.
Yeah. Okay, great. Number 4, correct?
Yes.
Number 4 already.
Yeah.
Now this is where like my top 4 is like, I mean, the whole list was hard, but now like any one of these could be number 1 for me. So we're getting into like pretty rare territory for me. Number 4 is 1997's Event Horizon, my favorite sci-fi horror movie of all time. The late great Sam Neill, rest in peace, is one of my favorite characters and favorite villain turned into villains of all time in Dr. Weir. Lawrence Fishburne is just, I mean, he's incredible. He's one of like my favorite actors ever. He's awesome. Director Paul W.S. Anderson, one of my favorite, most fun directors of all time. He directed Mortal Kombat, which is one of my favorite action movies in the 90s. Alien versus Predator, all the Resident Evil movies. I have a soft spot for those. So he directed the hell out of this film. And it's so creepy. I mean, it's got so many great moments to it. It is so eerie. Even still to this day, I'll like, if I watch this with the lights out, like I'll get like goosebumps and I'll get the heebie-jeebies, like thinking about like what this crew is going through. I mentioned Sam Neill. He's got he's got a bunch of quotes that just have always resonated with me and are so creepy. His face at the end where he's all kind of cut up and scarred after going through the portal. And he says, you know, where we're going, we won't need eyes to see. One of my favorite lines of all time. Hell is only a word. The reality is much, much worse. I mean, fucking legendary, iconic performance from him. And if anyone listening hasn't seen this film and is into like sci-fi, just into good movies in general. I mean, even if you're not into sci-fi, this is such a creepy film. If you really kind of get into it, like put your phone away, turn the lights off, and kind of imagine yourself on this ship with this crew. And it's really creepy, and it's one that really stuck with me. Like even just talking about it, I get kind of creeped out. It's so well done. Love it so much.
Sam Neill's a horror icon.
He is.
Yeah.
So many good roles.
Oh.
All right. My number 4. Again, I love how you said your top 4 are the hardest. My top 4 are the easiest part of this list. Everything else was so hard. I was able to place my top 4 so easily. So my number 4 is New Nightmare. My boy Wes Craven. Masterful. It's such a genius script. He wrote it too. It's such a genius script and movie. I feel like this one's so meta, and it came out 2 years before Scream. I feel like audiences weren't ready or didn't like understand this type of meta, so it didn't like do well. But now it's like literally a horror masterpiece, classic. It's gotten so much recognition over the years. I feel like this is just so overboard with the meta. He kind of like learned 2 years later. Scream was like, I feel like more digestible, being self-aware meta, where this one he just I mean, he has actors from the first movie playing their actual selves in this movie. It doesn't really get any more meta than that. I mean, Wes Craven's in the movie playing the director of The New Nightmare. It's chef's kiss, genius. It's probably one of the smartest slasher movies ever put to film. I've loved it since the second I saw it. We haven't done a ranking for the franchise, but let me just say this one's up there for that franchise. Heather Langenkamp got her recall before any Final Girl with this, and she gets to play herself playing Nancy one last time. I mean, how badass is that? It's so iconic. I love her line when she's like in the hospital talking to those asshole doctors who I want to kill every time I watch the movie. She's like, everyone knows who Freddy is. He's like Santa Claus. I'm like, he is like Santa Claus because everyone knows who Freddy Krueger is. It's so good. And Robert Englund, I love that he plays himself, and then when we finally see him as Freddy for the first time, like he's so evil looking in this one. I love when he says "miss me" to her, and they just have that chase, and he's so vicious. You have a throwback to the kill in the first movie when the poor babysitter gets killed, Julie, when he like really rips her up the wall in the hospital. It's so epic and bloody. It just feels like an epic culmination of the franchise. Miko Hughes as Dylan is one of my favorite child performers. I love when he's like doing the creepy like "Never Sleep Again." And I love his stuffed animal Rex. I get so upset every time Freddy like slashes him. The ending set piece when they're like literally in like hell and like Freddy's nightmare domain. It's so iconic when he like extends his tongue and wraps it around her face, Nancy's face. I'm just like, oh, this is disgusting. Yeah, it has everything I love about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and no one could have done this movie other than Wes Craven. It gets me emotional in the movie when he has the talks with Heather Langenkamp because it can tell how much this franchise and this character means to him, and it's just so smart. And I just love that our girl Nancy, who's literally one of my top 4 favorite Final Girls, got her final movie that she really deserved. And I'm happy she got this because I don't know they're not going to be able to bring Nancy back in the new movie because you can't have this version of Nancy without Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger. So it just wouldn't mean the same if she came back as Nancy with a different Freddy. So this, I have a feeling, is the last time we will see Heather Langenkamp as Nancy. She could come back in the new movie as a cameo, as a different character, but I'm happy she got this ultimate recall because it's arguably the smartest and best out there. I'm obsessed with New Nightmare.
It's such a smart script. It's
Yeah.
such a
Yep.
smart way to
Yes.
kind of bring the characters back. It's not
Yep.
too it's without getting hokey, right? Like
Yeah.
how do we
Yes.
bring back our final girl without it being just ridiculous? Like
Mhm.
and it's just such
Yeah.
a smart way to do it, and it's so clever, yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. That's Wes.
That is
Like you
Wes.
said, yeah. Like no one, I don't think anyone would have been able to pull it off like he did. So yeah.
It's such a swing, such a home
It
run
is.
though. Yeah.
It's tricky. You're like it could have went completely south, but you know. All right. So my number 4 is my witchy bunch, and that is The Craft. I love Nancy. I think she is an awesome villain. She at the end, of course we got Nev Campbell and Skeet
Yeah.
Ulrich, but like I just love that they dabble in a little bit of witchcraft, and then at the end, like she just gets so drunk off power and she's basically fighting her whole her whole friend group, and it's just she how do you pronounce her name properly? Because I always feel like I butcher it.
Feruza.
Feruza. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Feruza. Yeah,
She kills it though.
Fer-
She's
yeah.
epic in 90s movies.
She's the eyes and it's in the way she present like she's moving, and then in her
Mhm.
eyes, the intent eyes when she is like, and it's the iconic like, oh, you're sorry seed. Like she literally just
I
like
love that scene.
pushes him out, and she's doing like the like veil of like pretending she's someone else, like unhinged behavior. Yeah, I love The Craft.
It's one of my favorite witch movies. So they're
Mhm.
all 4 of them are just
Mhm.
so
All of 'em.
good in their roles. I remember the first time the scene when like Nev Campbell like walks into the classroom after the witchcraft workshop.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm in love.
She's
But
a
it's
villain
just
herself.
she's fabulous. But Robin Tooney as like the final girl, the lead, she's
Mhm.
great, and Rachel True also like it's just such a good 90s cast. Christine Taylor, Skeet Ulrich, it's Breckin Meyer. It's just you don't do better cast than 90s. It's one of the best. But Feruza's the standout. She steals every scene she's in, hands down.
So yeah. Number 4 already. Jeez,
Top
we've
3.
powered through
Yeah,
top 3. All right.
Okay, here we go.
These
Yeah,
ones.
top 3.
buckle in.
Okay, yeah, this is getting down to it. All right, number 3 for me. I can't believe this is an overlap. I can't believe Anthony had this so low. Is Silence of the Lambs, one of the greatest movies of all time. Yeah, just Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, when they're on screen together, it's just fucking fireworks. The tension you can just feel through the screen every time they're talking with one another. He's so legendary, right? Because he's not, I mean, poor Buffalo Bill, he's awesome, but like he's the main villain of the movie, but everyone thinks of Hannibal Lecter when they think of Silence of the Lambs, even though he's not the actual villain of the movie. It's great. It's amazing. And Ted Levine is amazing as Buffalo Bill too. It's such a great kind of switch from them two, and then you get the scenes with him, and it cuts back and forth. You have Jodie Foster is amazing as a young kind of FBI detective, trying to make her way through the world and navigate this really big case, high profile case that she's kind of been tasked with, and it's great. I mean, she is. I feel like everyone talks about Anthony Hopkins, but she really needs to get more flowers. I mean, people talk about her, but she is the heart and soul of this film. Obviously, I mean, we follow her throughout the whole movie. She's the protagonist. You really like want to root for her though, and you really care about her. But yeah, them two. I mean, you have the iconic mask. It's just yeah, like it's just iconic. It's one of the greatest films ever made. Like you said, Anthony, it's one of the few horror movies that really got recognized come awards season for the Oscars and everything. It won Oscars, and it's a movie that shouldn't be as rewatchable as it is, but it's so rewatchable for some reason. It's just watching these actors kind of put on just a masterclass, I think, and dive into these characters. And this story is just so beautiful and poetic and disturbing and awesome. So yeah, top 3 for me, Silence of the Lambs.
Hell yeah. Perfect film.
Classy.
Okay. My number 3, Nolan, is Halloween H2O.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
It's
I feel so
literally
shitty.
it's my third favorite Halloween movie ever. It's Halloween meets Scream. I mean, what do you want me to say? It is what it is. It's Halloween meets it's this Scream version of Halloween, and I love it so much. You can tell Kevin Williamson did rewrites on it. With the opening scene alone is one of my favorite opening scenes of the franchise. One of my favorite opening scenes of all time. Poor Marion, that girl puts up a fight, but Michael still gets to her. I get so upset every time she's taken out. I mean, you have freaking Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the opening scene getting an ice skate to his face. It's freaking gnarly and badass. It really sets the stage for the fall setting in the opening scene. And then this is my favorite version and portrayal of Laurie Strode ever, is Jamie Lee Curtis's portrayal in H2O. I will never forget the scene when she gets that axe, breaks the glass, and she just walks up to the campus and screams Michael. I will never not get chill bumps. Like every time with the shadow of her walking up, she's not messing around. I love how she just bashes the entry to the gate because she doesn't want anyone to get in or him to get out. It's one of the most badass final girl moments ever, ever, ever. And then the end, I know we have resurrection, but within this movie, the end when she goes to like recognize that that's her brother and she like grabs his fingers and then she just like takes a deep breath and chops his fucking head off. I mean, what this is, it doesn't get better than this movie. It's perfect. The Molly, Michelle Williams and Josh Hart, the Molly and John chase scene is one of my favorite chase scenes ever. When she drops the keys and they're trying to get the door and he's getting the keys and open. I'm like, I remember like the first time watching, like, oh my god, please, someone help them. And then you have that face off when Laurie comes to help and it's her and Michael face to face. One of the most iconic shots in the franchise. It's literally under 90 minutes, but I don't care because it flies by, but there's not a wasted minute. I mean, you have friggin' Janet Leigh in this movie with the cameo and paying respect to Psycho, which the original Scream Queen and the new Scream Queen, who also happens to be her daughter, having a moment. It's just, they don't do it like this anymore. LL Cool J's in this. You have the 1-2 punch with this, and then a year later in Deep Blue Sea, and he makes it. So, he bucks
Yeah.
a trend in this movie, and he makes it out alive. I love his scenes. He's funny. I think they're all like, well, I really, really love the John and Laurie relationship when she like freaks out when he's off campus and they have that back and forth is one of my favorite like non-Michael moments ever in the franchise. I think their relationship's really beautiful, and Yeah, this is my Halloween. This is the one I wore out on VHS and watched nonstop. And the only reason it's not my number 2 is because the OG Halloween 2, which funny enough was my number 1 on our 80s episode, just is the perfect double feature with the OG. But this one's right behind it. And yeah, this is my 90s Halloween. This is the one that I always go to for the ultimate Laurie Strode. And I'm obsessed with it.
It's just like popping off his head at the end. It was just like,
Mhm.
there ain't no way he's coming back. And then, of course, but yeah,
Retcon.
yep,
So good. It's so good.
so
It's
good.
epic.
Okay, so my number 3 is one that was one of my favorites growing up, and it would always do a double feature, and that is I Know What You Did Last Summer. I loved this story of trying to figure out like exactly who they actually hit. It was like the who done it, and it's just the iconic like what are you waiting for scene with Jennifer Love Hewitt. It was just amazing. It
I
was
say
just
it every day.
one, yeah, yeah. It's just there was so much like you definitely get the Kevin Williamson like influence. It feels like Scream, which I love. So that's why I would always like watch it as like a double feature. It's like, okay, now pop in the other one. It's just like this is the one I love. So I still know what you did last summer. Like I love those two. I think they are
Yeah.
perfect films in my opinion. But we got the iconic like chase scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like it's just great. It's just an all around like, and he definitely did not get his flowers until way later. Like
Yeah.
it's just an icon. It's just a simple like kind of actual like costume, like a fisherman with a hook. Like anyone could be that. So yeah.
Yay, you're on my wavelength.
Yeah, great movie. Just all around solid for sure. Doesn't try to do too much, right? I mean, like Ben Willis, the fisherman, it's just a simple kind of revenge story. It's not like too out there with the premise and the yeah, whatever. So yeah, it's so good. Okay, guys, top 2. Here we go. My number 2 is one that you guys might not have on your list, actually. This might be out of left field. It is Scream, released in 1996.
Never heard
Where's
of
that
it.
one?
Yeah. It's kind of a low-key banger.
Mm.
I feel like it needs more flowers. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, the iconic Scream could easily be my number 1. It's number 2. Me and Ant covered this film. I think it took us over 3 hours. It's one of our longest episodes because I can't get Ant to stop talking about this movie and this franchise, obviously. And I was doing the same. This is my favorite in the franchise, the OG. It's just perfect. Talk about perfect movie. It's the perfect slasher, meta slasher, whatever. It's in the mid 90s. It kind of just ushered in this new wave of horror movies. We've talked about the influence it's had, and we've covered this franchise so much already, and I can't wait to cover more of it. But yeah, I mean, whoever the casting director was on this movie, I mean, I don't know who it was. Anthony, you probably know their name, but
I don't know,
I mean,
actually.
when you get like someone like Liv Schreiber who's not even in the movie and you're able to cast him for the sequel before the sequel's even made, it's like now you like did something right? I mean, the cast is just legendary. The opening scene is probably, I mean, maybe this is a ranking we can do, is probably the greatest opening scene in horror history with Drew Barrymore. It's so perfect. The whole movie is perfect. There's no fat at all. Everything it just flows cohesively until you get to Stu Macher's house, and that climax is just perfect. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, and I know me and Ann have had differences on this franchise as a whole, and I'm kind of a little bit more critical on some of the sequels, especially 2 and 3. But for all the listeners out there, I still love Scream, and I love this first one. Is just such an all-time banger. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll let you guys take it away with this coming up, but it's Scream. Like, could be my number 1. It's not. It's number 2, but to no fault of its own, obviously.
Yeah. It's a perfect film.
It
Perfect
really is.
film.
All right. My number 2, it's a Scream baby. It's Scream from 1996 is my number 2. I mean, yeah, I've talked about this movie nonstop. It's just the perfect slasher movie, the perfect '90s movie. It's if Nev Campbell was just in this movie, she'd be my favorite final girl. That's just how iconic Sidney Prescott is. She is so vulnerable, but at the end, she puts up a fight and she takes these assholes out and she takes them down. Billy Loomis is still to this day my favorite killer in the franchise. He's just such a fucker, and the way he manipulates her and then thinks he's gonna get away with it, but he doesn't know who he's dealing with is so good. Stu Macher, iconic. It's the like Matthew Lillard's so good. It's the reason why they had to figure out how to bring him back in Seven. I mean, he just delivers. So my mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. The one-liners in this movie. I mean, again, every line in this movie. I feel like every line in this movie is quotable. Like I don't even know. Like every line of dialogue is just iconic in the entire movie. The opening scene, it is my favorite opening scene of all time in the franchise and just in film and horror in general. Drew Barrymore, I feel like should have won an award for like supporting actress just for that alone. She's so good. Roger L. Jackson, I feel like the unsung hero of this movie and the franchise as a whole. We don't talk about him enough. Epic voice work. It's just introduced me to my trio, which are my favorite characters of all time. Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. It's what I love about Scream. And Wes Craven, like I said, he made a genius movie with New Nightmare, but this one he made an accessible meta movie where the characters are aware of horror movies, and that was a good like starting point for the franchise that does get like more meta and self-aware as it goes on. I feel like this is the one that's the most accessible because it's just characters who are aware that horror movies exist and they're talking about the tropes and trends and why would you be running out the front door when I can run out why would I be running up the stairs and run out the front door? And then she literally can't go through the front door, so she has to run upstairs. It's just it's epic stuff. It's a perfect movie. There's no, I mean, I could talk about it all day, every day. It's just perfect. Ghostface is an icon. He is the icon of horror. I remember as a kid, Halloween, everyone was friggin' Ghostface. He's still iconic every Halloween season, but in the late '90s and early 2000s, everybody was Ghostface. So
Did
yeah,
you have the blood mask where you
I
could
had
pump the
both.
blood through the?
I
Yeah,
had both.
I remember
I
that.
did have both. Remember, like sometimes I'd get stained and like go through and you would get it.
I never
But-
had it. I never had it.
Oh,
but I knew
really?
so
Yeah,
many
I
other
had-
people
yeah.
had it. Yeah.
I had both.
Yeah.
I prefer the OG, but I did have fun with the blood one. But it's just a perfect movie, guys. I mean, it's no surprise that this is up here in my top two. It's the best franchise, my favorite franchise, and it's one of the best slasher movies ever made. I love that it's so intertwined with my favorite movie of all time, Halloween, where Kevin and Wes literally played the movie Halloween in Scream. So when I first saw that, I was like mind blown. I'm like, my favorite movies and my new favorite movie. I'm like, what's happening? It's so good. It's perfect. I love it so much. And Sidney Prescott, not in my movie. The fact that she's such a badass just in the third act alone. I just love that we're still getting movies with Sidney Prescott, and I love the OG Scream. It's up there for me, and it's so special. I'll never forget the first time I watched it. I'm like, can I watch it again? And that's my favorite factor of a movie is it being rewatchable, and I can watch this movie every day. So yeah, my number 2 Scream, no surprise.
I am so curious to what your number one is then now. I was wondering
We'll
where
see.
you're gonna put it in the ranking. But my number 2 is Bride of Chucky. I love
yeah.
this film. I love Tiffany Valentine. Jennifer Tilly is my queen. I know this one is where it starts to become less about, Chucky being scary and a little bit more campy, but I love the lines in this, like fuck Martha Stewart and just so much of this. I always rewatch this film. And then it introduces us to a new doll villain, which is Tiffany Valentine, who is iconic herself just as much as Chucky. And then of course we get like Glenn and Glenda later on. But I love Bride of Chucky. I have so much fun watching it. I love it's just iconic. And yeah, we have Katherine Heigl's in it.
Yeah.
What is that other actor he passed? Can't remember his name.
John Ritter.
Yeah, John Ritter's
Yeah.
in it as like the asshole, like
No.
father sheriff guy. We got the like fake goth guy who's like trying to impress her, and she's like holds the Polaroid up, and she's like, notice it's him, and she says her like one liner. It's just I love this film. I have so much fun watching it, and I had to put it at my number 2 because out of all of the ones in the Chucky franchise, like this one is like is my most rewatchable and my favorite.
The most fun of the franchise,
It's
hands
the most
down. It's so
fun,
fun.
yeah.
I love when they're in like the honeymoon, whatever hotel, and Tiffany's like, "Do you have a rubber?" And Chucky's like, "Tiff, I'm all rubber."
I'm all rubber. Yeah,
I
it's just
never,
so
I
much.
never not laugh. And clearly
And
that doesn't work because she has a kid at the end, a baby at the end of the movie. But it's just such a funny, fun movie.
Yeah.
But it's also has the good slashing. It's just again 90s fun, 90s pure fun. And Jennifer Tilly just walks away with the movie.
I love when
Yeah,
Chucky gets super campy. I love the
Yes.
sequels. Yeah, Seed of Chucky I love too. So I'm unapologetic about
Yes.
that one too. Yeah.
Oh,
Great pick.
I
Great
love
pick.
it. Yeah.
Number 2. That's high. Yeah. Wow. I
That's
knew
your
you
work
liked it. I
placement,
knew you
yeah.
loved that film. I've heard you talk about it before, like on your channels and stuff. But to see it number
Yeah, we
2,
have to
that's
do
really
it.
awesome.
We have to do a Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
We have to get to Bride of Chucky. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right, guys,
roll.
drum roll, please. Here is our number 1 picks, our favorite horror films from the 1990s. I will go first. Number 1 for me is, I mean, of course, it's Steven Spielberg. It's Jurassic Park. I mean, one of the greatest films ever made. It's right up there with me with Jaws in terms of just like a perfect adventure horror film. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy every time I turn it on. Again, Sam Neill, I have him twice on my list. The icon that he is. Him and Laura Dern are just so great together, so perfect. I'm so glad. Say what you want about the newer movies and about Dominion, but putting them back together in that film was one of the best things they could have done. I'm so happy that they put them back together. Obviously, Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum is legendary. You have Richard Attenborough, one of the coolest characters ever. He's, I guess like the villain of the film, but he's just like such a cool old man, and just wants to kind of see this park like be a great achievement for the world. And he's got his grandchildren who are great. I mean, yeah, it is horror. Some of the sequences are some of the most terrified I've ever been as a kid. And I think the big reason for that is the work they did with not only the practical effects of these, but the CGI, the meticulous attention to detail they did with the CGI work still is better than 99% of CGI today. It looks so real still. The way that they were able to blend the practical with the CGI and cut the different shots together to make it look so realistic. Yeah, I mean, you turn this movie up, you hear the thumping and the sound design of the T-Rex, and you hear the screeches of the raptors like in the kitchen scene as they're stalking. It is so scary. So I will fight anyone that says like, why is this on your list? Because I mean, it is just straight nightmare fuel, especially growing up in the 90s watching this film. Yeah, it's like I said, it's scary, but it also just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I love this film so much. It's such a comfort film for me. I like all of the films in the franchise. I can take something from all of them. 2 and 3, I particularly like. This whole trilogy is great, but this first one is just like one of the greatest films. It would make my top 10 just films of all time, not just horror films. I mean, it's just a perfect film that I could watch endlessly. It's one of my desert island movies, so it had to be number 1.
I love how you said desert island movie because that's how I treated this list. I was like, if I could only watch these 10 for the rest of my life, I'd be happy.
What would I bring?
But then that's when I got mad. I was like, wait, but no, I would want to watch that one. So, yeah, the Jurassic Park, it's just that iconic when he first takes the step of the T-Rex and that sound and the way that it feels and that rumble. Like, it's terrifying because you're like, oh shit. And when they're trying to like run away through the car, but they're like trying to drive faster, and it's just like it's like heart pounding, like your heart's racing, you're like, go, go, go. So yeah,
so good.
And I love how they kind of highlight the beauty of dinosaurs too. I mean, you have these paleontologists who they see the different herbivores and they're like grazing and stuff, and they're just like in awe of their beauty. So they do a good job. It's not just horror, it really like kind of encapsulates like the beauty of like these majestic creatures and what they would look like if they were alive today. So yeah, it's a perfect movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, big
Also,
budget movies don't look like that anymore. Like, why do they
no.
not? Why do they look better in 1993 than they do in 2026?
Everything's
It's
rushed,
crazy.
man. Everything
Yep.
is just deadlines and just get it
It's
out there.
not the
They-
same.
Yeah.
It's
No
definitely not like
effort.
they did it in the 90s. But the best thing about this movie is it makes me feel like a kid again, and it's what Spielberg does best, and that's what the 90s are for me. It's nostalgic, and I love it so much. Yeah, it's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
I didn't know what your number one was going to be, so I like that. I like that pick a lot. All right, number one. So I know everyone's upset that like Scream's not my number one. They're like, what the hell? But my number one is Scream 2 from 1997. It's the best sequel ever made. I don't care. It's my favorite sequel of all time. It's the perfect Scream movie, hands down. The perfect Scream movie. It's the movie where I fell in love. I was introduced to my favorite characters in the OG. In this movie, Scream 2, I fell in love with Sydney even more. I fell in love with, Gail. This is the movie where Gail transitions from, I just want the story of bitch where I want to help too and I want to be there. I love that she's a part of the finale. So I really fell in love. I think this is the best Gail movie of the franchise, hands down. Love Dewey. I was like so devastated and upset when he got stabbed in the sound. I'm like, oh my god, we're losing Dewey. Like, what's happening? Love he didn't die, but the Gale chase scene is my second favorite chase scene of all time. It's just the Scream movie with the best set pieces. You have the Gale chase scene, and then right after that, you have the Cindy car sequence when she has to like go over Ghostface's lap, get out, and that the first time I saw that, I was like, I couldn't even stay on my seat. That's how much suspense I felt. I mean, the master of suspense came to play with that sequence. But again, the opening scene, this is where we get like super meta Scream, where it's a movie. They're making a movie about the first Scream, Stab. That's what we introduced the whole Stab franchise. The opening scene, and this is my. I mean, nothing can touch the OG, but this is right up there with it with me. It's just so good with Jada Pinkett and everyone in the audience. They don't realize that she's getting. That's terrifying. You don't realize that someone sitting next to you is getting killed. It's just so scary. It's just it has my second favorite killer of all time. Mickey Timothy Oliphant scares the hell out of me because he's just doing it because he's crazy. He's gonna blame the movies. He's a crazy motherfucker. He doesn't have any like vindictive motive against Sydney. He's just doing it to be a crazy fucker. And I love Mrs. Loomis so much. Love, love, love her. It has my favorite like moment in the entire franchise when Sydney like becomes that ultimate final girl. She's like, "You're forgetting one thing about Billy Loomis. I fucking killed him." I'm like, "Yes, girl. Get it. Get it." It's just it's so iconic. Sarah Michelle Gellar has an iconic set piece in this one where she gets chased and killed. I feel like all you hear about is like, oh, like the later movies are like all about set pieces and fun. I'm like, have you seen Scream 2? Because it's just banger set piece after banger set piece that's not only suspenseful, but it's also action oriented and it's fun and slashing. It does not one or the other. It has everything intertwined in one. So I feel like Wes Craven was just firing on all cylinders, along with Kevin Williamson writing it. It does everything Scream did, but it just takes it up to another notch, and that's what I want in a sequel. And to me, this is when someone asks like what Scream is, I'm like, watch Scream 2. This is what Scream is, and this is what will get you to fall in love with the franchise. And to me, it's like the best sequel ever made and one of the best slashers ever made. And it's one of the best horror slasher sequels ever made too. So yeah, this I was always like hesitant in the past, like Scream's my favorite, but like I love Scream 2. Like Scream 2 is everything to me. So I'm like, I finally admitted to myself a couple years ago. I'm like, no, Scream 2 is my favorite in the franchise. So yeah, this is my ultimate baby. So Scream and Scream 2 are my favorite 90s horror films.
See, this is why I gave myself a rule, because it would just be all
Yeah.
Scream movies and then everything else.
I'm like thankful that only 2 came out in the 90s.
Yeah, but so no shock, but Scream, original Scream is my number one. It is the movie that got me into horror. It's why I love slashers. I love Sydney. I love the whole cast. There's not one character in this film that I don't really not like. Like, I love Tatum as the best friend. I love Stu. Stu is a phenomenal, funny character, but then he's this kind of just he's also killing people. And then Billy Loomis, the person to give you trust issues, this twisted kind of mama's boy who's just wanting to seek revenge and blame her for his own dad's affair. It's just like, come on, like he plotted this all out. I mean, we all later figure out that Roman had some thing to do with it, but this is for me, like it was my introduction really into loving slashers and really truly loving like all of it. And I love Ghostface. I mean, Drew Barrymore, the opening scene, like we've already said, is iconic. Like I remember holding my breath when all of that was happening and then shouting at the TV, like, can you just hear her? Like she's right there, turn around. Like, and then they hang her in the opening act. Like it's just phenomenal opening. The twist is amazing. Like I love Randy and his like horror knowledge and just like, maybe it could be him because he has all the horror knowledge, but no, that's too simple. Like it's just fun film, perfect film. It's my number one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cosign everything.
Yeah, we covered the first three. We got to get back on it and cover Scream 4 is up next.
Yes.
That's going to be a fun one. So yeah, definitely look out for that. Okay, guys, we made it through our top movies of the 90s. We did it. Take a deep breath. Why don't we do a quick recap and recap what our list is? I'll go first. So for my list, with a huge caveat, is missing Halloween H2O again.
Yeah,
I
make
feel
sure you
so
include that
shitty.
every time you announce this list.
So shitty. Make sure you post that when you post.
I will.
These
I'll be funny little thing I put.
Okay, so number 10 for me is Cube. Number 9, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Number 8 is Misery. Number 7, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Number 6, Deep Blue Sea. Number 5, Sleepy Hollow. Number 4, Event Horizon. Number 3, The Silence of the Lambs. Number 2, Scream. And number 1 is Jurassic.
Yeah, okay. My number 10 was Silence of the Lambs. My number 9, Candyman. 8, The Faculty. 7, The Blair Witch Project. 6, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. 5, I Know What You Did Last Summer. 4, New Nightmare. 3, Halloween H2O. 2, Scream. And 1, Scream 2. Flip-flop there.
So the one that was supposed to be on this list, can I just mention, was also The Sixth Sense. I loved that film.
Yeah.
So I loved the twist. I loved everything about it. And the freaking part at the end scared the crap out of me. But my original 10 list is 10, Blair Witch Project. 9, Sleepy Hollow. 8, Urban Legend. 7, Halloween H2O. 6, Jurassic Park. 5, Dracula. 4, The Craft. 3, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Bride of Chucky. And then Scream as number 1.
Woohoo! We did it.
We did it. It was hard. I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's only going to get harder.
Yep. So as always,
2000.
I know we have a little bit of time before we get to that, so we got a few months. So let's just take a break. Much needed break from this. As always, guys, let us know whose list you agree with more, what your list is. Give us your rankings, what your favorite film of the 90s is. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. So thanks again. You can follow us on social media. That's where we post all of our polls. And we like to have discussions with y'all. At Never Split Up Pod. You find us on Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok. All that great stuff. Yeah, so for Oriana and Anthony, I'm Nolan. Thanks again for tuning in to our big 90s episode. We're getting into the Halloween season now, so look out for some big episodes coming up. We can actually announce our next episode. It's a pretty big one. It's a biggie to kick off Halloween season. Ant, why don't you announce that?
We are covering a very, very little movie from 2026 that no one has heard of. We are covering a movie called Obsession. We're covering Curry Barker's Obsession, the highest grossing horror movie of the year and the highest grossing original movie of the 2020s. It's insane. This movie was a true phenomenon. There's so many people talking about it, so many opinions, controversies. So we're going to get into all of it, and we're going to have a fun time talking Obsession for our next episode.
Yes, we figure, fuck it. Let's start off with a bang. Highest grossing, I think, R-rated movie ever, whatever. I mean, it's just breaking. It's the most profitable movie ever, whatever. Like, it's just, it's insane what kind of life this movie took on. So really cool to see for a horror movie, especially. So look out for that. But yes, until next time, we'll see you guys later. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.